So, I noticed that Nintendo's YouTube channel, there's all these videos being posted up about the Legend of Zelda 25th anniversary being on right now. So, I thought I would actually might as well do one just for my own YouTube channel as well, just because I have nothing else better to do with my life right now. Seriously though. So where to begin? Well, I used to start off with The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Very first Zelda game, got right through it, learned how to play went right through all the dungeons. Although Water Dungeon though was a pain in the ass though. That was like the very last dungeon I needed to figure out to get through out of all the others. But once I finally got it figured out, I could just pretty much clear the whole game in and out, hands down, no problem. And then Majora's Mask came out. Let's just say that I even played. Just to start off, first I started these on the N64. Yes, the system the system when all the 3D Zelda games finally all started. Then Majora's Mask came by, and then I got this game guide for it, and I was like, wow. The only problem was when I first looked through the game guide, I thought it wasn't helping me at all. I don't know what I was doing wrong. I just ignored trying to play the game without the guide, and as well though I couldn't figure out what I was doing, so I had to go right back to using the guide again. Apparently though, I ended up apparently once I started using the guide again, the whole thing, all the pages were just detached. Everything, the whole guide was all ruined. And then afterwards, I could just flip out Although that was actually a good thing too, because once I figured out how to get through once I figured out that I should be going to all the 4 dungeons, I could just take out the pages that had the fairy that had the missing fairies in the dungeons, and then I just followed off where I needed to find them on the dungeon, and I just checked them off in my head. So yeah, that wasn't really a bad thing. That was actually a good thing, because now I could, like I said, I just the fairy found the places where all the fairies in the temples were just on a separate page. So I just took out the pages, and then I just followed off the guide where I had to go through, and then I would just get the fairies as I gone along. So that wasn't too bad. And then the Wind Waker, and then finally I moved over to the GameCube, and then Wind Waker came out, and then I was like, wow, this game looks amazing. Little did I realize, though, this was supposed to be... But as well, though, it was kind of surprising to see that I had the Ocarina of Time backstory, because as well, though, when you look at Majora's Mask, it shows... You can just see that Majora's Mask just follows off where Ocarina of Time ends, because Link finally leaves the land of Hyrule, and then he goes up to the world of Termina, and then somehow, though, he separates himself from the hero, and then afterwards he loses the Triforce of Courage, and then in Wind Waker, you have to find all the crest pieces of it to make the Triforce of Courage again, so then Link can go fight Ganondorf again. Although this time now it was just Toon Link on the Great Sea instead of just being Link of the Hero of Time like we see in the previous Legend of Zelda games. And apparently though, I haven't played Twilight Princess. Twilight Princess was pretty good too. It finally went right back to... I was finally happy to be going back to playing Adult Link again like Ocarina of Time, or at least in the future when you're going through... Hopefully as well though, now with Skyward Sword soon coming out, I'm gonna be kind of excited to go back to playing growing up Link again. Probably a different Link, this time, but I don't really care. As long as it's still as long as it is the same grown up Link, just like in Ocarina of Time, Twilight Princess, I have no problem with that whatsoever. Although I never did tell you about my experience with the other ones though. Apparently though, I never did knew much about the NES or Super NES Legend of Zelda games until I finally got the Collector's Edition, which showed all the recent which showed all the old Legend of Zelda games and as well all the handheld ones as well. And I gotta be honest, even as well, Collector's Edition had the first 2 NES Legend of Zelda games. I tried playing those, and trust me, I couldn't get through them. I just kept getting myself killed every time. I didn't even knew that the second one was a little inferior. I tried playing that as well, and it was just weird. And then, although once I finally got the Wii Virtual Console and got the Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past, it was okay. I really did like the status bar that was on the top of the screen showing the number of rupees, arrows, and bombs you had, and then when you were inside a dungeon, it showed the number of small keys you were carrying, except the big key, which you had to pause the game for instead, and it would show you if you already opened the big chest with the big key or not. Apparently, though, as well, there were even some doors that you needed to open only with the big key, which was kind of stupid. I can understand they finally fixed that problem once they made Ocarina of Time, because the big key got replaced for a boss key. They went right back to using it again when they made Wind Waker, though, which was kind of weird. Yeah, like, apparently, though, to the best of my knowledge, though, you don't see the boss key appear for, like, the Young Link dungeons, but for all the dungeons that you go through as Adult Link, though, you have to find the boss key. And even weirder, it's pretty easy to find the boss key, to find the chest where the boss key is, because the chest of the boss key was a different color chest than when you found the chest that had a rupee or a small key or anything like that. Like a normal chest, it would just look like a brown box with a half circle thing on the top. And it would be in brown, but the one, though, for the boss key was kind of the same, although it was actually like a goldish yellow or something like that. So, yeah, that's actually kind of strange to know that the boss key chest was kind of different when in the game. But, yeah. Well, I think I am a blown nerve cell there. Like I said, though, I could just pretty much beat almost every Zelda game, hands down, except for some of the ones that I avoided now in the past. When I look at them, I just think, what the hell am I supposed to do in this? Yeah, like, I think the only ones that I avoided were, like, the first 2 NES, The Link to the Past. I can sort of get through A Link to the Past now, except for the last few dungeons, which are a bitch. Link's Awakening, I have no idea what to do. Oracle of Ages, what the fuck? Oracle of Seasons, what the hell? And then when I go play the Minish Cap, I think it's okay. Nothing special. I could probably get to the end, no problem. As you probably are well aware, I already did a walkthrough for that back on my first channel back a very long time ago. You were still subbed to me back then. I think I pretty much said everything hands down about every Legend of Zelda game. Yeah, so I think that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys later. Oh, and I'm going to the midnight release for Modern Warfare 3. Oh yeah, that's gonna be exciting. I'm gonna be really pumped for that.